Hi, today's video is about how to apply for a Freedom Pass. So the website we're on at the moment is www.londoncouncils.gov.uk. Heading to this website, you'll have the ability to apply for a Freedom Pass, or an older person's Freedom Pass, if you are eligible. So you click on the link and it shows that the Freedom Pass is for older people and it allows them to travel freely across London and also on free local bus journeys nationally as well. First thing you can do once you land on this page is to go to the eligibility tab. Check your eligibility is what you'll click on. And what you do is punch in your date of birth here. So there's two criteria based on residency. So your London home needs to be your sole or principal residence. And then further along in the application process, you'll see that you'll provide proof of your address. And obviously it has to be a London-based address in order to be eligible for the Freedom Pass. And secondly, it's based on age. So it's always continually changing, but in line with the pensionable age here in the UK. So the best way to tackle this and just find out if you're eligible, first of all, is just punch in your date of birth and then check in the eligibility checker. So the next step is, if you are eligible, you head on over to first time applications, find out how to apply for a pass. So you'll click on apply for a pass. And here you are met with a bunch of instructions and information, and it gives you a step-by-step list as to what you need to do to continue on and hopefully be able to succeed in your application for a Freedom Pass. So of course, as I stated before, you will have checked that you're eligible using the eligibility criteria tab, and then you can apply online or by post. Of course, this is going to be the online version, but it's very similar in terms of the postal version as well when you apply via post if you need to. Then apply online, as it obviously is recommended by itself by London councils. It will give you all the details, and these are all the steps that we're running through in today's video. So first of all, you have to provide an email address. An email is sent to that address. Within that email there is a link which you click on, and then you are then able to continue on with your application. So that's very important to make sure you've got your email address handy if you don't know it off by heart. And you'll also be prompted to supply a password for the London Council's website. After that, you'll be completing your name and address details, which is really straightforward, but I'll run you through them as well. And then adding documentation. So for this online application method, it will be just a matter of attaching certain documents that we'll go through step by step in terms of what documentation is required, which is just one apiece really, for the proof of your name and age, and then proving your residential address. So we'll run through those as well. And then very finally, you'll also attach a photograph of yourself as well, a color photograph, which is no older than 12 months. And then after that, you just agree to terms and conditions. This Freedom Pass is completely free as well, so at no point are you prompted to pay. You would not be supplying any credit or debit card details. So if you ever come across any page which asks you for money or asks you for card details, stop immediately. That is not a genuine website. Again, the only genuine website to get a Freedom Pass from is London Councils. Again, it's www.londoncouncils.gov.uk. that is the only website that you should be going to apply for a Freedom Pass at no cost to you. So we have established that you're now eligible for the Freedom Pass, and now we'll continue on with the actual application. So from this page, we're going to click on Apply Online Now. I'm just circling this pink tab, and that's the tab we're going to click on to continue on with this application process. So as we click on it, a new tab has opened up here for me. I'm using Google Chrome, so by clicking on that tab, it's just generated a new tab for me, and it's opened up and taken me to the registration process. So with the registration process being step 1 of a 7-step application process in order to get you the Freedom Pass. So with it being highlighted purple here, it's telling me, it's indicating that we are on step 1, registration. So what we're going to do here is going to be a brand new application, so we'll provide an email address in this field here. This has to be an email that you can access, because what will happen is once you provide an email address and you set up a password for your application, an email is going to be sent to you by London Councils instantaneously, and within that email will be a link informing you to please click on that link, and then it will open up a brand new window, and then your application process will continue from there. So what we can see here is that I've created an email address, and I've also created a password, so it will prompt you as to whether your password is strong enough and will be acceptable, but it has to be a minimum of 6 characters, and it has to be a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters and numbers. So just a minimum 1 number if you want to use one, and then 1 uppercase and 1 lowercase should be fine. And then you can see what it's done here with my password. It's rated it as strong, and therefore I'm able to continue on with the next step, which is clicking on this tab here, next. So here, what I've received here is a confirm email. So as stated earlier, a confirmation email has been sent to me. I will now have to check inside that inbox and follow the instructions, and then from there will be a link for me to click on. Once I click on that link, I can only then continue on with the application process for the Freedom Pass. So I'm in my email now. The email has been sent by Freedom Pass, is the actual sender's name, and as it says here inside the email, London Council. So you have taken the first step towards your Freedom Pass. To continue with your application, please click on the following link. Then you'll be asked to complete your personal details. So you want to click on continue with application. And then once your application is complete, you'll receive another email saying that the actual Freedom Pass application has been completed, and it will be processed in due course. So for now, with this email that you receive, you want to click on continue with application. So we've clicked on continue with application, and it's opened up another tab, and as you can see, a familiar site. We're back on the the steps for the application. We've now gone to personal details. We've already done the registration and we've confirmed our email. Now it's step 3, personal details. So you really want to follow the guidance here to a T. Please only update your details if your name and or address has changed from the details below. If you have changed your name or address, you'll be asked to provide evidence of your new details. So what we're going to do is we're just assuming that your name and address has remained the same, and most importantly, it'll be verified by a piece of ID further on in step 4, which will be evidence. So as we continue to fill in this form, I would really highly recommend that you fill this in as per your ID that you provide in step 4. So for example, a UK passport or a driving license, or a passport of any nationality, as long as it's current or it's valid, or a driving license, for example, are the most common forms of ID. But there are a bunch of others that you can pick from in the evidence field, but I would really highly recommend that verbatim the names that the personal details are listed here on this application are going to be the same that are per your ID, in which will be found and uploaded in the evidence tab next. So you fill in your title, Mr, Miss, Mrs, Doctor, whatever is applicable to you. Here you put down your first name, and then your last name, and then your date of birth. So with the pink asterisk here, it's showing that this is a mandatory piece of information. Without filling in this information, your application will not go on further. You then identify your gender, and then it states here that you have a national insurance number option to fill in your NI number, and then by highlighting over, just resting the cursor over why do we ask for this, it tells us this data may be provided to the Audit Commission for the National Fraud Initiative and will be used for cross-system and cross-authority comparison for the prevention and detection of fraud. I highly recommend this. I think it's a good idea, and it probably might just be able to maybe just process your application a little bit quicker. I think if they have that information, then they can just probably cross-reference it with the information you're providing here in this tab. But again, it's completely optional for you. it's not something that's mandatory, so it's up to you. And then finally asking you about your ethnicity. Again, this is not mandatory, but you can specify it using the drop down list. And again, why do we ask for this? So the purpose of this section is to provide information on whether we are delivering services in an appropriate manner across the whole community. This information is confidential, and failing to complete it will not prejudice your application. If you do not wish to say, then please select the option I do not wish to say. Or you can just leave it unspecified as well if you want to, so that's fine. Next up, you put in your address details. So to be eligible, you must have your sole or principal residence in London. Enter your London postcode and click look up my address. So you'll punch in your London postcode, so it could be E17, W1, SW5, wherever it may be, but it has to be a London postcode. And then you punch look up my address, and then you'll get a drop down list of number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 of High Street or wherever it may be, or London Road, where it may be, and then you can just find your address through there. If you can't find it, if you're struggling to find it, or if you just rather prefer to enter your address manually, maybe it has a house name instead of a number, or it might be an apartment within a block of flats, which you'd rather just be a bit more specific about, you're welcome to fill in these sections here. And obviously what will happen is these are the main pertinent information that is required. Again, pink asterisks signify that it's mandatory fields that are completed: street, town, and postcode. And obviously you're more than welcome to fill in additional information if it just helps for the card to be delivered to the exact place that you want it to be delivered to, your residential address. Once you've done that, you will then click on the next tab, and then we'll go on to the next stage of the application. Great, so we're at the next level now, level 4, which is evidence. Adding evidence. So London Council is requesting some further information just to make sure that you are eligible for the Freedom Pass based on your age and where you reside. Remember, it has to be within the London area, so they just want proof of that so they can then issue you the Freedom Pass. So what it states here is we require proof of your address. Please also add photos or scans of documents which will verify your name, age, and residential address. Please bear in mind the maximum file size is 4 megabytes. If you have created an account, you can log in again later to finish the process. Don't feel like you have to do this all in one session. You can log in later on if you're struggling to find some piece of information that you want to upload, or if you may have not got a photo taken, for example, yet. You can do that later on as well. But the first piece of information they're asking for is proof of identity. So please provide a photo or scan of one of the following documents as proof of your identity. So for example, current passport, a medical card, a birth certificate, and only if your name has not changed by way of deed poll, a current driving license. And with this one it's great, you can either use a older paper format, or you can use a new photo card depending on which one you have. Either one is fine. A letter of pension entitlement, or a current European ID card. What you'll do is you will be able to scan in these documents, or even take a nice clear iPhone or smartphone picture of that document. So for example, if it's the current passport, will be the bio page, the page with your photo and your name and age on it, and then once you've got that saved on your phone or your computer, you can then just simply hit choose file, and you'll get a box where it allows you to pick the document that you want, and then you can select it and you can add it on. Just be advised that the only formats that can be attached are JPEG, PDFs, or TIFF formats. Okay, and again, per attachment it's 4 megabits. Okay, so that's the proof of identity sorted out. And once you click add, you'll get a green tick which will signify that it has been attached successfully. Next up is proving that a proof of your residential address in London. Okay, so again, from this list of documents, you only need to provide one photo or scan as proof of your residential address. So current council tax bill or letter or payment book, a current council or housing association rent book, statement or letter, a current television license, a residential utility bill. This does not include mobile phone bills. A HM revenue and customs letter, a Department for Work and Pensions letter, or occupational pension letter. And for the ones that have a black asterisk next to them, so the occupational pension letter, the Department for Work and Pensions letter, the HM Revenue and Customs letter, or the residential utility bill, they have to be from within the past 3 months or they will be rejected. Okay, so please bear that in mind with those particular documents. Again, same as when you are providing your proof of identity, you hit choose file and then you attach the photo or scan of one of those documents. Again, once it's attached, you'll see a green tick and that will signify that has been attached successfully. And if you're still a bit stuck, you can head on down here, and there's also another YouTube video where it kind of shows you how you can add your documents in a bit more detail as well. Again, you can use a scanner or here a smartphone as well to get the picture of the document. Just reminding you that the document has to be as part of one of these extensions only, so JPEG, which is the most popular one to be honest with you, or PDF, which is probably the most second popular one, and TIFF files, which aren't normally used, but that one is another option as well if, for example, your computer or phone ends up saving in that file format by default maybe. Again, so to add each document, click the choose file button, browse button, and find the document on your computer, then click open. You click the add button if it doesn't add automatically, and then you will see a green tick when the document has been added correctly. And if you feel like you might have added it the wrong way around, for example, if you've got both documents saved and you were just uploading them at the same time and you just got them in the wrong box, so if you've got the ID in the residential address and the residential address in the proof of ID, you can simply hit delete, which will be at the bottom of add, and then you can just start again straight away, so it won't delay anything for you. Alternatively, if this is a bit more too technical for you, you're more than welcome to send the evidence by post to London councils. You just once you get to the end of this entire process, they'll just ask you to print a confirmation page because it has your reference number on that one, and you just supply that with a copy of your ID and residency, and that will help them to continue processing your application as well. So the next stage is stage 5, the photo stage. So here we're just going to be adding a photo, a passport size photo of yourself, so that can then be affixed to your Freedom Pass. What they require is that it's about the photo specifications, UK passport photo size, and it has to be no older than 12 months, and it has to be on a clear light colored background, so usually white or grey, but that's usually the same case for UK passport photos, the same specifications really. So you can even go to the one that generally use photo booths, Photo Me, which are dotted around pretty much everywhere. They're at supermarkets and train stations and what have you. They usually dot around just a little photo booth. You can use their photos are fine, and they're actually advertised on the London Council's website as well, so they're very much in abundance, and they can be found quite easily, and they're quite cheap as well. I found around about the £5 mark. Again, what you'll do is you'll just, once you've got the photo, you'll scan it into your computer, or you can take a picture of the photo as well, just a clear one, and then what you'll do is you'll find it on your system, your computer. You'll click on upload photo, you'll find the photo, and then you'll be able to crop the photo and see how it will look on a mock-up of a Freedom Pass, so you can see exactly what's going to be seen in that pass, to make sure that the crop is absolutely correct. Your entire face is in there, there's no shadowing, or you not cut off your hair or part of your face or anything like that. So you can do it that way as well, to make sure you're absolutely happy with how the photo will look on your potential card. Or again, you have another option as well, just like the evidence, to post your photo in. So what you can do is, along with the evidence, you can just post the photo that you would have got printed at the Photo Me booth, for example, along with the confirmation page at the end of the application, and that will suffice as well. Great, so we're at the final stages now for the Freedom Pass. We're at level 6 now. Contact details. So here you simply fill in your details of how you may want to be contacted. So you've got optional boxes here for both telephone numbers, for either your home landline, work landline, or mobile number. Again, these are both optional. You do not need to put them in order for your application to continue. But I would highly recommend at least providing an email address, so that they have your email if they need to get a hold of you. if they need further information, or if they want to clarify anything, or they want to just give you send you a confirmation email with your reference number as well. So definitely provide an email address if nothing else, and then you can provide information about how you would like to be contacted if you do provide your email or your or address regarding third-party information and stuff. But again, none of this, there's no pink asterisk or black asterisk, so none of this is mandatory, but I would recommend at least providing an email address at least. And then what you can do is you would read the terms and conditions, and then once you've read them and you're happy with it, you tick the box, I accept the terms and conditions of the Freedom Pass. Of course, you have to tick this box because it has a pink mandatory asterisk, and then you can click next. And finally, we're at stage 7, the final stage, which is confirmation. What you either be greeted with is if you've provided all your information, your evidence, and your photo by way of the online method, you won't see all this. Wait, you're not quite done. All you'll see is that your application reference number type is new, and then you'll have your delivery address. But if you do opt for providing your evidence, again your ID or your residential address proof and photos, it just prompts you with this, and it's really handy actually. You can just print this section, and also it sends you an email as well if you want to print it from the email, and it just provides you with all the remaining steps you need to do. So you just print this page because it has your reference number on it, and then you will provide copies again, of physical copies of one of your forms of your proof of name and age, and then also your proof of your residential address, which we already went through, and you have a checklist that you can just go through to make sure everything you have enclosed is correct, and then you just post the form, the evidence and photograph to this address, and once they've received it, they'll just continue processing your application as normal. The application process is around about 10 days, and then add on any more days if it's taking you some more time to mail in your evidence as well. And then from there on, you should receive your Freedom Pass. Good luck. I really hope this was a helpful guide for you in order to apply successfully for a Freedom Pass. If this was in any way helpful to you, please hit the like button. It would very much be appreciated. Share it with anyone else that may be interested. It could help them, and please for sure subscribe, as I will continue to upload content regarding all sorts of forms. And if you have any forms that you're particularly stuck with or would like some assistance with and would like me to maybe make a video on, please comment below in the comment section, and I will try my very best to read up on those and post videos accordingly. So many thanks for your support and your views. Have a good day. Bye.